back. Lindsey Stirling was first introduced to the world on America's Got Talent in 2010, and when she was voted off the show, Piers Morgan told her talents wouldn't fill a theatre in Vegas.
And he's a bit of an idiot, isn't he? Anyway, since then, her viral videos have been viewed hundreds of millions of times. She's filled arenas throughout the world and landed herself, wait for it, on the Forbes 30 Under 30 list. And violinist Lindsey Stirling joins us in studio. But first, let's see her in action.
Slightly bigger than theatre.
And Piers Morgan can do one, basically, because he was completely wrong in his assessment of you. My God, what a career.
Oh, thank you. I've gotten to do some pretty exciting things. I feel very incredibly blessed, lucky, all the things.
You've just sold out Albert Hall. How's the tour going so far for you?
It's been amazing. We're just like wrapping it up. We've just got, a few shows left over here. And, it's been so fulfilling.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we were looking at some of your stuff yesterday and again this morning. That's your hair you're swinging from.
And I've still got some left, right? that was my hair. I actually don't do that.
Your actual hair?
That's my hair.
No straps or...
No.
Oh, good God.
It was... You know what? I don't do that anymore.
Everybody's going, what conditioner is she using?
Right, I should have been on a hair ad. But yeah.
How do you come up with these ideas for your performers? Because whatever about the actual skill of being a musician, which takes decades of practice, having to combine that with the athleticism and the acrobatics is absolutely astounding. What made you come up with that as a concept?
It's partially because I was writing music for the first time when I was in my 20s, and the music was like very bold and that was coming out of me. And I was like, well, I got to try to visually fit the music. I always wanted to put on a show and entertain. And so I was like, well, I better learn to kind of move around. And it's been like little tiny step by step. And who knew I would be hanging from my hair one day?
Yeah, I know. But if we can go back to 2010 and to AGT, after that criticism, did that flatten you, or did you have to deal with it for a little while and before you started this bounce back?
Yeah, it absolutely flattened me. I think the best word to describe it is I was so humiliated and and devastated. This was my make it or break it moment, and I felt like I broke it, But there's that inner voice that will tell you, hey, don't give up, and I'm so grateful I listened to that. And it took me a second to have the courage to try again. But, we're resilient, our hearts heal. And just like any heartbreak, that was my first huge heartbreak. I got up again.
I didn't think the comments were necessary. If you're being eliminated from the contest, it's one thing to say, look, your journey's over. But to say, you're not going to fill a theatre with a show like this. You're not good enough to do that. He was
a little harsh. Tough. I think the worst one was he told me I sounded like rats being strangled when I played the violin. That was the one that was like, oh. But you know what? People aren't always going to love you in life, and you can't win everybody. And I don't think anyone can win over Piers Morgan, and that's fine.
Is he on your Christmas card list?
He should be.
My mother gave me great advice. Actually, don't take any criticism from someone you wouldn't ask for advice. So I think that works perfectly in this instance. But do you think sometimes when it comes to what you do, particularly when it comes to classical music, there's a certain elitist element to it? And if you're trying to kind of democratise it and bring it to the masses, not everyone likes that. They kind of want to keep the classical music there and the popular music there, and marrying the two is a bit too much for some people.
Absolutely. And, I've definitely faced a lot of that kind of critique of, where it's like some people say I'm definitely not good enough to fit into the classical world and I'm not cool enough to fit in the pop world. And I don't know. I just have learned to I don't think labels are meant for people. Those are meant for food categories. We're allowed to blend things. We're allowed to be what we want. We're all so multifaceted. And to say that you have to fit into one thing really limits us personally, professionally, and in every way.
So there you are with probably one of the biggest pop stars in the world at the moment. What was it like working with Sabrina?
Oh, it was lovely. That was such a fun collaboration. And it's just been so fun to watch her absolutely explode across the world. Like someone who's wonderful and kind and talented and deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you too. The two of you were married together quite well.
Yes, we were a good fit.
It is sensational.
Yeah, your presence on social media, though, I mean, that is absolutely gigantic. Did that take you by surprise, or were you prepared for the amount of exposure you would get because of it?
It all kind of happened gradually. I'm kind of grateful that I was never an overnight success. It really was step by step building a community. And I think that's made it always feel very organic and natural because I've been able to mature with it rather than just it explodes overnight and I have to figure it out in an instant. It's been building a community and being able to be very thoughtful with what I want to put into the world and who I want to present, what version of myself do I want to highlight to the world. And it's been a really, I don't know, it's been a cool experience. And I'm so grateful for it because I wasn't the artist that the label system was ever going to choose to be we're going to invest in a dancing violinist. And I'm grateful because, I tried that route. Nobody wanted it. Yeah. No one was interested. And so I'm so grateful for social media that allowed me to be well, let's let the people speak. Let's see if they want to jump on my train.
And they have.
And they have.
You've billions of hits with videos, but of course you're releasing albums as well.
Yeah.
And there's one out right now, and that's the one you're promoting.
Yes. My brand new album, Duality, came out this summer, and I feel like it's a really big piece of my heart that I was able to capture in music. So it's been...
Yeah.
Now, although you are a fantastic performer, you also do absolutely amazing charity work. Which I think is so admirable because so many artists, they just forget about that sort of thing. But that's been very close to your heart. Tell us why that is.
Yes, it's always been really important for me to give back. Just that those were the values my parents raised me with. We didn't have much growing up. And yet they always gave back. They found a way to help our community. And so that example to me, and my dad passed away several years ago, as well as my best friend, and watching them go through the medical system in America and watching the people that we met along the way, and how rigid and tough that system is, made me just want to give back.
Okay, because at a time in your life when you're getting treatment just to stay alive,
yeah,
you have this worry of, will I still have my house in a few months' time when my treatment is over? And that's what your fund is for.
Yes.
The upside.
Yes, we help people pay their medical bills. Especially you think about this is the worst time of someone's life and having to worry about what the future holds aside from their health. And this is something they didn't choose. And I've watched it destroy people's futures. And so it's been really rewarding to help people and families find not only medical treatment, but also find ways to pay for it even after it's happened.
Yeah, and 15 million you've raised so far, that's astronomical. And your dad, he'd be very proud of you, I'd say, because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he is.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing things that you... I think people who are maybe in this side of the world don't understand how difficult it is to access healthcare if you're uninsured, etc. Even if you are insured, the hundreds of thousands and millions that your medical bills can mount up to if you have a very serious illness. I mean, it's whereas we can go into the hospital and we might wait a bit, we do get treatment eventually, hopefully.
Yeah.
Different system in America.
It's a completely different system. And so for people here, it's kind of hard to understand that.
Right, that healthcare it's not free to be healthy.
Yeah. It's absolutely amazing that your charity has to actually
every
exist.
album you sell, every ticket you sell, money goes to the fund.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We do a lot of, fundraising through the ticket sales. And then also I'm doing a cruise next year, which I'm so excited about. And all the money from the cruise goes towards it. So I'm really trying to make this something where every year there's just money that continuously flows into it.
Okay, you've got a packed house tonight in the Helix.
Yes, we're so excited.
So what can people look forward to? Lots of this. Look, it's the 2nd of November. As far as we're concerned, Christmas is on.
Oh Oh no!
And you love Christmas.
Well, I am a Christmas girly, but this is not a Christmas show. We actually, it's funny. We're going to start that as soon as we get back to the States.
Okay.
We're going to switch gears, but we're finishing up like a summer tour right now.
Right.
But yeah, it's full of theatrics and dancing and colorful costumes, and like
You're keeping the hair on your head.
yes, no more hair hanging.
Yeah.
We're done with that era of life.
Put some dancing and acrobatics anyway.
Absolutely, we'll keep you fully entertained.
Okay, and no rats being strangled.
No.
Not
No.
a chance,
Let
because
us
her
hope
violin
not.
playing is amazing.
Beautiful music. Beautiful
Thank
music. Thank you
you.
so much for joining us
Great
on
to
the
see
show
you.
today. It's been an absolute pleasure, and best of luck in your gig tonight.
Thank you.
Now, of course, if you do want to catch Lindsay's jaw-dropping performance in the Helix this evening, tickets are available at lindseysterling.com.
After the break, I'm talking fashion. It's all about the boys over at the catwalk in just a few minutes.